All right. So welcome. Today is Wednesday, March 18th, and one of the things that we're going to do to start our day off for Guided for the Pearl is to go back and review your answers for the Pearl Chapter 1. Looks like my classes scored between 60 to 70%, so there does need to be a little bit of clarification on these questions and answers. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm just going to open up the middle one and we're going to go through that. Oops, that's not what I wanted. There we go. Okay, so who are the main protagonists of the story? Some people had some arguments here with me, and I thought that that was good. Definitely Kino. Everybody got that 100%. Juana, his wife, I would also say is a main protagonist, a main character. And some people kind of argued if Coyotito was really a main character or not. So I could kind of see people didn't really get that one. And most people understood that the doctor is not, while he is a main character, the protagonist is the people who actually want to achieve something. And then the antagonist is the person who gets in their way. So the doctor, as we're going to see coming up later, is actually the antagonist. Most people got this one correct, that the initial conflict of the story is that Coyotito was struck by a scorpion. Okay. This healing the baby is with more traditional medicines is better. Actually came after Coyotito was struck by the scorpion. And I know some people say, oh, it just must be the biggest answer, but that's not always the case. And again, Kino and Juana are too poor to pay the doctor. Well, they need to know why they need the doctor in the first place. So again, that makes the answer correct, that Coyotito was stung by a scorpion. And as we talked about above, the antagonist, the person who is against the main characters, are the doctors. So about 75% of people got that one correct. This is good. People kind of understood. Civilized means that they're educated, and uncivilized kind of means uneducated and kind of like tribal like. And so most people got that vocabulary word correct. What does it mean when it says the doctor looked past his aging patient and saw himself in a restaurant in Paris and as a waiter was opening a bottle of wine? So a lot of these you can actually just kind of skim and scan for some keywords that match if you really want to be honest. So if you look at doctor here and you skim and scan, there's only one answer that actually has the word doctor in it. It means that even though the doctor rejected Kino before, he is now calling him his patient so that he can get a lot of money from him and go live in a better place like Paris. Again, there's another food or word that matches, and eat good food and drink again. So again, when you look down here and you see the beggars, they knew that there's no alms, charity giving in the world like a poor man. So this one you might have had a little bit of struggle with because there isn't necessarily the word alms or beggars or charity. So if I look down here, this one says doctor rejected Kino. That has nothing to do with beggars at all. He's comparing the pearl to the scorpion, that wealth is a poison. And that the town is greedy. So greedy is kind of the opposite of charity, so that can't be it. The pearl may make Kino protective, but it's also giving him dreams. So again, this is about Kino. It's not about the beggars, so that's why this one cannot be correct. It means that it is often said that people who have so little give so much. So that giving kind of goes with charity, right? Because Kino know what it's like to go without, he may be more willing to give to those who do not have much. So those who do not have much is the beggars. So that's why this one would actually be the answer. So here we go. 75% of you got the definition of puncture correct. It is a small hole. Heal and repair is the opposite of this. Kind of interesting. Nobody chose cut or damage. What does the following text mean? The news stirred up something indefinitely black and evil in the town. Okay, like the scorpion, the poison of the town began to sell and puff with the pressure of it. Again, if you look at town and if you look at scorpion, there's actually the word scorpion here, okay? And we have the word poison and poison, okay, making people greedy and evil and only thinking about themselves. So they're just matching the words can get you the answer. And this one's talking about dreams. Dreams are positive. And if you think about words like evil and poison, those are negative. So this would not be a good answer. People who have little give so much. So giving so much is positive. So again, that does not even go with the connotation of the question. So again, matching words and thinking about the connotations of the words, the feeling of the words can get you to the right answer. Next, he became cautious, nearly every man's enemy. We will be married in a church. We will have new clothes. So the first part sounds kind of like negative, and then the second part sounds kind of positive. So you want like a negative and positive connotation answer. So here it says the pearl may be making Kino protective. So that's kind of like positive, but it is also giving him dreams, right? So we kind of talked about this pearl is like the dream of being married in a church, the dream of having new clothes, the dream of that rifle. It means that they are comparing the pearl to the scorpion, which is a poison. Again, this is very negative, and even though this part is negative, all the other parts are positive. So, and there's nothing positive in this answer. And this has nothing to do with the doctor. This has to do with Kino. So really pay attention to who we're talking about. Every time you think about something, you think about who is doing what. And then you need to match that with the possible answer. So here we go. Yesterday we read, and suddenly he was afraid of his talking. His hand closed down over the pearl and cut the light away from it. If light symbolizes joy, and we're cutting the light away from it, we're cutting out joy, which text evidence best foreshadows, predicts what will happen with Kino? So if you think about this, he's a man with great power, and you can see what a great man he has become. So that's a positive connotation. And even though joy is a positive connotation, you have to think about this part. He is cutting the light away from it. He is cutting out the joy. So really, you want a negative connotation. He's come to nothing. He is a foolish madness. So he spoke foolish words. So we're going to foreshadow that Kino is going to start acting foolishly. So we're going to pay attention to that as we keep reading.